OnPassive, on the move, on time. Ash did a webinar. Ash is the CEO of OnPassive. And before I get into that, I really want to give a shout out to our brothers and sisters in Bangalore, India. They are Ash's tech team, 200 strong. They really are doing yeoman's work. They really are doing the heavy lifting right now, some of it. And I wanted to give a personal thanks to our brothers and sisters in India. You guys are just doing a great job. And I look forward to the day, hopefully in the near future, where I can come over to India and really thank you personally. Really are grateful for what you're doing and the quality of work that you're doing. Absolutely awesome stuff. That brings me to Ash's webinar yesterday. And for those of you that follow me in YouTube, you've probably looked on my YouTube channel and you've seen that I have taken down a couple of videos. And there's a reason for that. As I looked at those videos and then understood what Ash was telling us yesterday, those videos just weren't clear enough. It was kind of like looking through rose-colored glasses and you take those glasses off and it's 20/20 vision. I mean, it's just perfect. And because of what Ash did yesterday, because of the webinar he did, because of the things he explained, those videos just were not good enough. And I literally had to take them down. And even, this little pea brain of mine, it's taken me probably a month to really focus in and understand what Ash is doing in certain areas. And the videos that I put up there, they just didn't paint the picture that I wanted painted. And I'll give you a good example of that. If we look at the traffic, and I'm not going to get deep into the weeds of traffic, but as we look at OnPassive, as we look at the GoFounder position, and that's the position I really want to focus on today, if we look at what Ash and his team have done, if we look at the kind of traffic they're going to be bringing in, it does not matter where you are in OnPassive because of what Ash and his team have done, because of the way OnPassive is structured, the way they put it together, you will be successful. I don't care where you're at. If you're a GoFounder in OnPassive today, don't care if you signed up a year ago. I don't care if you signed up tomorrow. You are in such a great position. You will do fantastic. It doesn't matter if you're on my team. It doesn't matter if you're on somebody else's team. It doesn't matter where you are in OnPassive. This is the way OnPassive was structured. And it's why it's so exciting for individuals coming in that perhaps have no experience whatsoever. I mean, zero. It doesn't matter where you're at. You are going to be successful. As I look at the GoFounder position, I can tell you today that we don't need any more GoFounders. You are never going to hear that with another business. It's counterintuitive. What do you mean we don't need any more GoFounder members? We want as many as we can get. No. We do not need any more GoFounders to come into OnPassive and join and pay the $97 to lock their position in the overall OnPassive structure. We don't need it. Now, am I telling you that you should just quit bringing people in? No, that's not what I'm telling you. As I look at the GoFounder position, I will continue to bring GoFounders in. So will my team. So will everybody on our team. We'll continue to bring GoFounders in. But there are a couple of things. Number one, as you bring GoFounders in, they are not doing you a favor. Okay? You are doing them such a huge favor, and they might not know it yet, but there will come a time very, very shortly where they are going to call you and be so grateful that you brought them into OnPassive as a GoFounder. That's how powerful this position is in OnPassive, the GoFounder position. Because of some of the things I heard yesterday from Ash, and I'll get into a few of them. As you bring GoFounders in, you are doing them such a favor. This is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This will never come along again. I believe that 100% now because of what Ash was sharing with us yesterday. And if you're not a GoFounder and you weren't able to, if you are a GoFounder and you weren't able to listen to the webinar, go into the back office and listen to it. If you're not a GoFounder, it's okay. I'm going to give you kind of an insight on what's there. But I always would recommend you come in as a GoFounder, pay that $97 position and lock in and get the inside scoop. You can go into the back office and listen to Ash's last webinar. It was earth-shattering, guys. I mean, what he said yesterday, it literally moved the earth. That's how powerful it was. And I can tell you the excitement in OnPassive today, it's palpable. I mean, you can feel the excitement in the air. So it was a really, really big deal. Extremely excited for us that are in OnPassive as GoFounders. But number one, as we bring in additional GoFounders, and I recommend that you do bring them in, you're doing them such a great favor. I mean, they're going to thank you for the rest of their lives. Now, as I look at GoFounders and I'm bringing in GoFounders, there are people that I will not bring on my team. If they're negative, if they don't have the right attitude, I, in a very, very nice way, no hurt feelings, tell them this is not for them. You know, you don't need to come into OnPassive. I think you need to find something else. There are people I do not bring in. When I bring someone in, I am doing them a favor, and over time, in a very, very short period of time, they understand that. So number one, yes, we are going to continue to bring in good people to OnPassive because we want to help them. We want them to get the benefits that OnPassive is going to have for them and all of us. Excuse me, guys. And at the end of the webinar, I'll give you something else that you can ponder for the next couple of weeks. It's massive. But yes, we do want to continue to bring in GoFounders, good people that we want on our team that we want to work with. The second reason you want to continue to bring in GoFounders, even though we don't need any more, is because it's going to build your team. And what that does is it really accelerates how you affect your bottom line, even if it's 1 or 2 or 3 people. And we have in OnPassive, we have people that have 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000 people under them. And you can imagine what that's going to do for their team. You can do the same thing with a very small number of people coming into your team that you want to work with. So it's a really, really big deal to go out and share OnPassive with the people you know, with your warm market, really with anybody you care enough about to really want to change their future. So as we look at OnPassive, yes, we do not need any more GoFounders because of the way Ash and his tech team in Bangalore have structured OnPassive, because of all the tools in the automated marketing platform that are there, because of the traffic they're going to be driving. And by the way, the traffic will be unlimited. I got that wrong in the last video. It's awesome what Ash shared with us. I mean, my eyes just opened up and I went, holy mackerel, this is so cool for all of us. So as we look at OnPassive, regardless of where you are in a great place. As we launch OnPassive and everything gets filled in, do I know how many people you're going to have? Do I know how many people I'm going to have? We're not going to know that until it happens, guys. And really don't worry about it. If you come in and you've got 2-3 people under you, that's great. If you come in and you got 2,000 under you, that's even better. But we're not going to know really until OnPassive rolls out and really fills OnPassive with all of us, all the GoFounders, and then the pending GoFounders. We're not going to know how many we have in our group until that happens, in our groups until that happens. I can tell you flat out, it does not matter. It doesn't matter if you come in at launch and you've got 1 or 2. If you've got none, it doesn't matter. This thing was made for us to succeed. This thing was made for you and I. I have never seen anything like this. It doesn't matter what experience level you have. It doesn't matter if you're coming in and you're the very last GoFounder to come into OnPassive. It just does not matter. The people that are in OnPassive, the early bird GoFounder position, you are in such a great position. And I know most of you don't really realize that yet, but just hold on. As OnPassive rolls out, man, this thing is just going to explode. Now, Ash is doing some things right now. OnPassive is on the move. Things are going to start happening in the next week, 10 days, I think right in there. Number one, we will get a new a back office for the GoFounder position. They're done with that. They will have that up. There will be some things to do within that in that back office, and you'll know what it is. You're a GoFounder. You've heard about it. You know what you need to do. Ash is also going to start doing his marketing campaigns for the GoFounders that are in OnPassive. Another reason why you want to come in and become a GoFounder in OnPassive. Pay the $97, lock your position in. Some really, really cool things are going to be happening to all of us. Now, the $97 position that locks you into OnPassive, that's all it does. As OnPassive launches, we all have to come in. We all have to become customers of OnPassive by getting a membership level. Those membership levels are 25, 125, 250, and 500. It really is that simple, guys. It's no harder than that. And as we get closer, I'll have more about what you can do, what you should do, and where you want to be if you can get there. But if you can come in and get into that $97 position, that GoFounder position, guys, do not let this pass you by. Do not ignore this, because you're going to wake up in 6 months and you're going to go, what did I do? Why didn't I get in? That's how big this is. So, as we look at OnPassive, it is moving today. The timing is absolutely perfect. What's happening today and what's going to be happening in 2020, it is going to change lives. Now, I want to talk to the individuals that are in OnPassive today. There are some things we can do. And it doesn't matter what your experience level is. If you don't know how to market, that's okay. If you've been online for 5, 6, 7 years, you're a great marketer, you're bringing other GoFounders in, that's great too. But there are some additional things that we can do to ensure OnPassive really exploding as they launch. I'm going to run over to a couple of sites and just go over a couple of things. This is the OnPassive blog. And what Ash would like all of us to do, everybody in OnPassive, right now there are about 50,000 people in OnPassive. And if we just do this one little thing over the course of the next 365 days, the cumulative effect on OnPassive is just massive. And what Ash would like us to do is go in and actually do something every day with OnPassive. And it can be as simple as going to the OnPassive blog. This is the OnPassive blog right here. And if I run over and go to the first post, as I run over to this post, I want you to go to a post. I want you to read it. And it's going to do a couple things. Number one, it's going to get you more educated into what OnPassive is and what it's doing. But I also want you to come right in here, and I want you to either share. I want you to share it on Facebook, on Twitter, on Pin. Send it in an email, or you can go right here, and there's just a dozen other things that you can do to share these posts. This is just a really, really great thing to do. And if we can all do this over the course of 365 days, it will be 18 million posts that we do online, and that's just with 50,000 of us. I believe that 18 million will turn into 100 million over the course of the next 365 days. But what it does, it gives OnPassive a more prominent role in the internet overall. Really, really a big deal. I can run over and show you the YouTube channel also. It doesn't matter what action you take, whether it's the blog, whether it's the YouTube channel. If you come over here and just look at one of the videos, and I'll pull this one up. It's a fairly short video. And as you look at it, you're going to see that there are ways to share this. And to share a YouTube video, all you do is you hit this right here, and then copy this URL, and then you can take it to your Facebook page and actually share it there. But what Ash wants us to do over the course of the next 365 days is actually come in and share something that OnPassive is doing somewhere online. And just with the 50,000 GoFounders that there are today, it'll be about 18 million posts that we do online. I think it's going to be so much bigger than that by the end of the year. But this is something we can all do. Doesn't matter if you've never done anything online, you can figure out this very, very easily and start sharing stuff on your timeline on Facebook, on your Twitter account, or any of the other dozen places where we can place OnPassive content out there. Really important that we all do this. Now, I want to talk about the individuals that are coming in as OnPassive rolls out and are going to become independent resellers of the IT products of OnPassive. Guys, give me just a second. Sorry about that. I had a little itch in my throat. I had to cough. So I want to talk about those individuals coming in, and we have hundreds and hundreds of people coming in that could not afford the $97. That's fine. That are coming in as a independent reseller of the IT products of OnPassive to be involved with OnPassive, to be on our team. Guys, you are still in a really terrific place. Believe me, the effect to your bottom line is going to be so massive you're not going to believe it. But you are part of this team. You are part of the overall OnPassive team, even though you weren't able to come in as a GoFounder. I want you to do the same thing that all the GoFounders are going to be doing by posting content, OnPassive content online. This is a really big deal. It just gives us that prominence online. So the individuals that are coming in as OnPassive rolls out, coming in, you're going to become a customer and then an independent reseller of the IT product. You are part of this team. You are a big part of this team. And I want you to participate by posting content that OnPassive has. Really a big deal. So the last thing that Ash talked about as the webinar rolled down, and a lot of the stuff he talked about, guys, I just can't talk about it because it is proprietary. It is just for the GoFounders in OnPassive. But I want to give you a little taste of what's coming. There is something in OnPassive, as big as OnPassive is, as absolutely wonderful it is. And OnPassive is a wonderful thing to behold, believe me. As big as we see it right now, there's one thing that's coming that blows this whole thing out of the water. Ash just touched on it very briefly. Marty DeGarmo, my partner, he was able to spend about an hour on the line with Ash after the webinar, and he talked about one thing that's coming, and that's kind of all he would say, except this thing will take OnPassive from being in orbit, just barely being in orbit, to the planets. This one thing that OnPassive is going to be doing, what it's going to do for OnPassive as OnPassive launches, and it's been in business for 6 months, a year and a half. Instead of that growth curve of OnPassive kind of leveling off or even going down a little bit, after a year and a half, 2 years, the growth curve on OnPassive, because of this one thing, is going to go sky high. It's going to go straight up. This is a really big deal. It's just something above and beyond the magnitude of OnPassive. And OnPassive, as it is today, is just a wonderful thing to look at. Absolutely beautiful. But this one little thing, and you can ponder this for the next couple of weeks, this one little thing, it's going to change lives. OnPassive on its own, it's changing everything. It's revolutionizing what happens online. But this one other little thing sitting out here is just going to take it to the next level, guys. So, as usual, Ash did a great job. Absolutely love what's happening with OnPassive. OnPassive is on the move, and the timing is right. They're absolutely on time for everybody in OnPassive. So as we move forward, continue to grow your group, continue to grow your team, bringing in GoFounders. I don't know how much longer we have. I do know that Ash is going to start his marketing campaigns very, very quickly. But over the course of the next week, 10 days, 2 weeks, things are going to be happening very, very quickly. Keep an eye on your back office and then start posting OnPassive content online. It is a big deal. It will make a difference as we launch. So that's it for today, guys. I absolutely love what Ash did yesterday. I think it was the best webinar he's ever done, and it was earth-shattering, the things he talked about. And obviously, Marty was able to get a little bit more insight into what he's doing. And as we're given permission to share that, we will do that. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, go on down below, subscribe to it, and we'll have updates as they come out. Click the bell on the right, and you'll get notifications when I do these videos. But OnPassive, yeah, baby, on the move, on time, couldn't be better. And from there, we're just absolutely going to see everybody at the top. I believe it. Take care. Bye.